All right. Hey, people listening to this. Well, it's me. It's Wade Bowen, and welcome to Star Trek Resignation. And we're doing Under the Bridge, where we talk about Star Trek Lower Decks. And this is the last episode of this podcast season on that, because we're doing the last two episodes. But like I said, I've got ahead of myself. I told you my name. I'm Wade Bowen, and with me, as has been the case, is my good friends Glen Hall.
Hello.
And Sean Parada.
I only want to be with you.
Yeah.
Talking a little Post Malone before we got started.
Yes, that's what people will immediately assume, is that you were talking about Post Malone.
Yeah, that you were singing that Post Malone song.
Yeah. He's the only one who did it.
Yeah, probably. He's an artist, and
he is.
But let's talk about
yeah.
Before we get off on too many tangents, let's get on the other thing before we get back off on tangents again. We're talking about the last two episodes of Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2. Wesh.
I was curious how you pronounce that.
I believe. Well, it's a question. Are you doing it in the classic butchered quote unquote Klingon pronunciation, or are you doing it in what they decided was really authentic Klingon pronunciation that Star Trek Discovery decided to do for it, where they just slurred their words a lot more? But Wesh Dush was probably. I think that's a pretty good Klingon.
It sounded good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, for Klingon for 3 ships, which is the name of the episode. But we're talking about Wish Dush and First Contact.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll spoil my reactions at least. I thought these were both really great episodes.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, let's go back to the thing where we talk about what we felt about both of them at the top. These were both like great. These were like as good as Star Trek gets, I feel like.
I agree. I kind of was like, I texted you guys about this at the time, and I was like, I kind of wish the quote-unquote real Trek shows were doing stuff like this.
Yeah, you know how Trek does, right, Sean? You agree with that?
This first episode, Wedge Douche, definitely made me think of classic like TNG stuff, and then first contact. I mean that's textbook DS9, which I know. So it's really
Are you talking out your ass right now?
What's that? No. Let's talk about Star Trek.
Are you just making shit up?
No. These are Star Treks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you totally out of your element, and you think if you throw words in there that you know that we would recognize that we'll agree with your points?
And the thing is, he was actually doing pretty good until he brought up DS9.
That joke when Boimler's in Hawaii, that's a reference to the Voyage Home. Thank you.
Oh, so close. So there's some Voyage Home references in here, but
damn it,
I see past your ruse, and you know what?
Fuck you. Get out of here, Sean.
I don't appreciate being deceived. I may be a few glasses of wine in. It might be my birthday today, but I will not.
Oh, Wade! Oh my God!
Is it your birthday?
Oh my God, Wade!
Shit, I should have dropped this on y'all before we started.
Yes.
Oh no!
Wade, I swear, this is supposed to be in my.
I don't care if you don't remember my birthday. I would never remember your birthday, except your wife is really good. Points it out.
But it's
Sean's is the shittiest birthday,
right?
Yeah.
But I swear, I'm so sorry. I swear this is supposed to be in my phone and like give me a reminder. Happy birthday.
No, I'm old and I'm dying, but
well, shit. So you're spending your birthday podcasting about the animated Star Trek show with us.
What would I rather do, man? Hanging out with my space friends, or no, my Earth friends.
Yeah, William Shatner's not here.
Yeah, he's no space friend of mine. I'll say that.
Hey,
I don't own enough horses for that. No, sorry.
Did I say that I liked these episodes? Because I did. I don't know if I launched right into my my dumb bad bit.
It was a good bit.
All right, I appreciate it. Good apps. Good apps. Yeah. I'm thrilled with this Star Trek and only this Star Trek.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess we can just start breaking them down, or we can talk about them. We'll talk about them all together. I'm too into my cups to try to like, no, let's save that for later. But we can,
whatever.
Take notes for the first one. Because we're recording this the day that the last one dropped.
Yeah,
so
it's fresh.
We're finally maximizing our timeliness.
Right. We're going back to used to be when I started doing Disco Home Companion. We would watch it and record like the hour after the show aired.
Yeah,
get on the pod and we got to do this timely, like, and then now it's like no,
it's 2021.
Yeah,
people are leisurely.
It doesn't deserve. Yeah, it doesn't deserve that. This one, you know what? This one, sure. Well, it did, and So let's talk about it.
So 3 ships are Weshdosh.
Weshdosh.
Man,
you're
Wedge douche.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot of extraneous consonants in Klingon. But I mean the synopsis is pretty simple. It's just side stories of, was it 4 other ships besides the Cerritos?
3 ships. 3 ships.
No. I'm sorry. I'm including the tag at the end.
Oh, but that's
a gag. It's a gag.
I am already exhausted.
Oh, fuck you. Relax.
Move along.
Anyway, they did a Klingon thing. Well, look. Yeah, sorry.
Bunch of side stories about other ships. Klingon, Vulcan, and Pakled. They all converge at the end. And a lot of really good Trek stuff in this. Yeah, they all converge at the end. They kind of solve the overarching plot of the season with the Pakleds, but not quite.
Right. Yeah, and then because they carry that over.
I do want to point out that I did notice earlier in the season that they were seemingly setting up that the Pakleds were like being supported by someone behind the scenes.
Right. Well, I mean, because the Pakleds are too dumb to be able
exactly
to do by themselves. So yeah.
And so it's revealed that a rogue Klingon, was he a general or a captain?
It's a captain.
Yeah.
I think.
A rogue Klingon captain was supplying arms to the Pakleds, and so just to get into what one of the things I really liked was, so the Klingon side of the story is the captain's dealing under the table and trying to disrupt the Klingon Empire's peace treaty with the Federation because he thinks it's made everyone weaker. Yeah. And
which the Duras sisters, which has been done several times.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a fairly common storyline with regards to Klingon.
Because what are you going to do with them? They're at peace now and they're warriors.
Right.
They don't like that. Yeah.
But I liked how that part of the story was set up, where you had this kind of like a Klingon Boimler, like guy, kind of brown noser looking to climb up the
totally.
ranks.
He's a wimp compared to the other Klingons I keep pointing out.
Right. But so I forget the Klingon officer's name, but basically I like that it turned out that like he had a compelling Klingon reason that this was not okay. Like it wasn't that he had any particular love for the Federation. Like his philosophy.
Oh yeah, it's just dishonorable for a Klingon to like have other people fight your fights.
Yeah, right, and be like and that's under the table and subterfuge and it.
Yeah, that's not Klingon, and then the captain, and so yeah.
And I love that
the Klingon Boimler gets to be the captain because that's how it works on Klingons. You kill the guy and then you take over.
Yep,
and he earned the respect of everybody else by.
Well, and we forget how he ends up winning the fight against the captain. Is the Targ, captain's Targ, saves him because he was the only one that took it out to take a shit.
Right. Oh, it ate the trainer's leg. It's going to take a while to pass or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we got. I mean, it's the cartoon, but it's nice that they go back to the TNG Klingons and say, we're not doing the fucking Discovery.
Yeah, it's a
no-brainer.
I'm going to talk about the other thing on that later, Wade.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday.
I'm the guy who knows diddly dick about Klingons. I couldn't tell you fucking.
I mean, Sean, the only thing is
shut up.
So let him talk about the Klingons. We want his expertise as a guy who's a dummy that doesn't know anything.
Literally, all I was gonna say is, as the guy, I felt I understood their perspective. You know, like I understood enough about Klingons from this episode that I needed to get this episode, as opposed to like, you know, there's obviously Picard stuff where they're like, well, you know this because blah blah blah, and so we don't have to do it. And I'm like, okay, fine, but I don't know what this is, and I hate it. Now they're just like, I'm like, oh, okay, right. He's explaining like, Klingons don't let other people fight our battles. And I'm like, oh, right. Because they're like, they want to die in battle. They're honorable warrior. Okay, great. Done. Sold. And it's just such a good job of like creating the shorthand that I need to watch it like without the historical knowledge.
Right. And
which I guess was Picard's problem. Like Joni watching, like, I don't know what's fun. Like, it's doing
Picard really, really needed to create some of that shorthand, and again, Picard is for the more diehards. You know, it's a sequel to a series. Like I get it. You know, I didn't go into Picard thinking it was for me, but boy, was it not for me.
You write a show that you have it do the work to where people can do that, because it also tried to halfway, and then it also had stuff that it left unsaid, that like read a book and it'll explain it to you. It's like, fuck you, man.
Right. That sucks. Yeah.
So, but we're talking about this good stuff.
Yeah. And so there's the Vulcan ship, which I believe this is the first time we've seen Vulcan starships since Enterprise, to the point where I'm actually, well, I let me scratch that. With the exception of the Chris Pine 2009 Star Trek, where the jellyfish ship that Spock.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's supposed to. I think that was supposed to be a Vulcan ship, but
probably. And I don't know what the Enterprise ships look like. I didn't see it.
But, they look like what you see in this episode. They have this kind of like. I'm trying to
with the ring around.
Yeah, the ring and kind of
what we saw. They look like
it's identical. Like they used the exact same designs, or maybe not the exact same, but like very similar designs. But I'm interested just in like a nerd corner sense of like, you know, I kind of assumed that Vulcan didn't have like a fleet like of specifically Vulcan ships anymore because they are part of the Federation and part of Starfleet. Because like humans don't have like
but humans are the kind of core of Starfleet. Like
sure, but I mean, you could argue that the Vulcans are part of that core as well,
right? Well, then we start getting into
this is getting too far.
Rules of acquisition arguments that we had about ethno ships, and I do not want to do that. So I mean, there's
dorks.
Yeah. Don't get me started on the ethno ship.
I don't know what that means. I don't want to.
If you listen to the baseball episode of that we recorded on it, there's a whole thing about it's a sore spot between James and Hugh and I.
Oh,
but
a real feud.
Yeah. A great episode about baseball that got a whole tangent about ethno ships on the podcast. It was a whole thing. It's fine. But because they had a Federation ship that was all Klingon, I was like, well, that was a sore spot for them. But it's a Vulcan science vessel, which is a joke that the Klingons make before the transition to the Klingon to the Cheval, which is a Klingon ship. When they're like, oh, it's logical to do this. Why don't you go to a Vulcan science vessel where cower and die is what the Vulcans do or whatever. What was I talking about again?
We were talking about the Vulcan ship, and so
they're on Enterprise.
The designs from Enterprise, and so we're following a lower deck. I forget what her title was, but she was an not an officer, but one of the crew members, T'Lyn, voiced by Gabrielle Ruiz from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, who I really liked this character, and just to skip ahead a little bit.
She was basically Kim Cattrall's character from The Undiscovered Country.
Yes.
She had the headband and everything. She quotes wisdom. Logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end.
Right.
That's a quote from from her character in Undiscovered Country.
What was her character's name?
Kim Cattrall's? Or
was she playing what's her name? Why am I forgetting? I'm forgetting all these names right now.
No one could possibly give a shit.
I don't know.
Move on.
I don't know any of the names either, so it's fine.
Saavik.
Don't
Savick
care. Move on.
Savick is.
Oh,
It's-
no.
it's
The recasting. Yep. Sorry. No.
Yeah, well, that's
Moving on.
Search for Spock and
Wrath of Khan. Yep.
Man.
I mistakenly thought Kim Cattrall.
Kim Cattrall's character is basically the same character, but Savik's dead at that point or whatever, and then they just have another one that's the same.
I'm envious of Savick. I don't know who or what that is, but it's dead, and I'm thrilled.
Why can't I remember the name of the original Savick? What the hell is that?
No one gives a shit!
All right, well, don't know why you have to yell. It's Wade's birthday.
Because you won't shut
Kirstie
the
Alley?
fuck up.
Is that who you're
Kirstie
talking about?
Alley, that's who I was thinking. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just say Rebecca.
Yeah.
Good God.
Rebecca.
Talk about fucking Savick.
Cheers, man. It's Cheers. Come on.
I haven't seen Cheers.
Oh, what?
Yeah, maybe quit watching Star Trek and start watching Cheers, you dipshit.
There's your new status report. I want to.
I do too. Yeah,
where you
and
are.
I'll listen quietly, and I won't say a fucking word.
I mean, I've seen some Cheers.
You're busy
I'm
not
serious.
watching
No,
the best sitcom in history, and you watched all of this fucking bullshit show that maybe 60% of it's good.
That's actually probably a little high.
That was your percentage, Wade, when I asked you at the end of last season of whatever.
Okay.
You said 6 out of 10.
I don't know. I don't have a spreadsheet for this shit. I can't be accountable.
No, I
for
know.
what I say.
Average is probably 50 to
All right,
60%.
Mark Evan Jackson's on here again. He does so much work.
Yes.
Comedy nerds.
Rich Vulture makes another appearance.
Yeah.
There's a really great Carl Tart joke in this episode, Sean.
Love Carl Tart. Love having him around.
So when
the K-Sean,
it's really hard to lose.
It's hard. Yeah, when everything's replicated. Yeah.
When you can replicate whatever you want. Yeah, I would. Boy, I'd be right there with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we got so many references. We got Star Trek V, rock climbing. We got
the rocket boots.
Right. I thought they were gonna do a ghost thing with the pottery, but they didn't. They just did.
That would shows amazing restraint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was definitely just making a penis before Boymore pissed him off.
He's focusing all his rage into the clay. So I mean, what are you gonna make something phallic that can penetrate?
Right. Yeah.
What is it? He says, "I didn't have time for pottery. I was too busy fighting fascism."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like Rutherford, he means it, man. He go.
Yeah. Fighting fascism is a.
Oh, that's right. He's fighting fascism is a full-time job. That's what he says.
Yeah. It's a bonfire of rage. Just bury it in the clay. And then I'm gonna make an ashtray. It's gonna be a puppy.
Yo.
I don't know how you make an ashtray shaped like a puppy. I'd like to see.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's finished.
Just like a two-dimensional image that just has the inlay.
Yeah, maybe. Or it's just the back has a
just raining on parades all day, Glenn.
How's that raining on parade?
All you want to do is fucking ruin fun.
How is that ruining fun?
So
you
anyway,
asked how to make a puppy ashtray. I just told you how to make a puppy ashtray.
You told me how to make a shitty low rent ashtray with a fucking 3 lines for a nose and 2 eyes in it.
What the? You haven't seen the puppy ashtray that I would hypothetically make in this scenario.
All right. So most of the references to movies on the Cerritos, he's going off because Boimler needs a bridge buddy, so he's trying to check in with all the different crews that also have bridge buddies, and Rutherford has Shaxx and
Billups, yeah, and Beckett has her mom, and he jumps in on them where they're having a fight and the shooting things in the holodeck. Where
the period stuff is so easy, but God, it's so funny. It's still good.
Why do you got to tell him that I had cramps? And the officers deserve to know. Billups is not good with that stuff. It makes him uncomfortable.
Right, that's the thing. Even Billups,
even the jokes have the characters built into it because Billups is the virgin kind of nerd engineer. Yeah.
Right, the joke isn't
about your hot flashes.
The joke isn't that that Boimler's ew, gross, I don't want to hear this, I don't want to hear it. The joke is that he's scared because they're fighting and they're mad at each other. And the jokes are they're about specifics we know about the crew. It's really when they do something easy like that, they do it, with care. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. When they're playing their little clue, and she's saying,
that was funny.
Chef in the biolab with the rifle that can shoot through walls. It's like, well, why would you have a chef when it's
right?
Why do you always pick the chef? Why did you have a chef when you have replicators? It's creepy. Yeah. And I did a little bit of research, and I actually looked on Memory Alpha, because that's the thing we used to do for the ROA. It was like James' job was to look on Memory Alpha for tidbits and stuff. But I got something Memory Alpha didn't even pick up, because the rifle that shoots through walls there's a season 7 DS9 episode that's really bad about and a murder mystery, and the solution is a guy that has a rifle that shoots through walls. It's an awful episode.
I don't even remember that one. Yeah,
I remember it because it's in the last season, and I did a podcast about it, and it's a really bad episode with what's her name, the Jadzia replacement.
Esri,
who's great, but
nothing against the actors. It's just that was just there was no winning in that scenario, short of just removing the character.
Oh no! If you listen to the ROA, you know where Big Esri stands over there. She was on the Kids in the Hall. That's good enough for me.
Hey, there you go.
But she wasn't a Kid in the Hall.
But she was on the show. I gotcha.
Yeah. She's Canadian.
On Bar Rescue, which is, canceled now. Fuck John Taffer, piece of shit. But that was a big COVID watch for us. And, he'd like redo a bar basically from the ground up. And at the end, they'd, the voice like, special thanks to blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Like all the companies that, provided this stuff for them to redo the bar. And at the end of every episode, the last one was, and Esri. So that's what I don't know it as a company that does something.
I was like, was John Taffer like a big Dex?
No, I don't think
that's
it was
funny. Yeah, no, I'm
he joined Trills, but
I'm sure they're like a bar stool. Like they make stools,
right.
Sure.
Right.
So or something.
And then Boimler, his other, he finally finds a bridge buddy with Ransom, where he has to lie about being from Hawaii, and then it turns out that none of them are actually from Hawaii. And
they're all from the moon.
yeah.
They're all from moons. That's
from moons.
What a stupid fucking dumb shit show, and I love it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh, and then there was the Tendi and T'Ana are climbing a cliff like in Star Trek 5, and he's got the jet boots and the Go Climb a Rock shirt, which are from the
Spock's outfit.
From arguably what some fans will say is the worst of the movies, where what would God need with the starship?
Which they're wrong. Motion picture is the worst.
Which one?
Motion picture.
That's not true.
They're all motion pictures.
No. Star Trek. The first Star Trek.
Go fuck yourself. That is great. Shut up. We're not going to talk about it. But no.
It's terrible. Awful.
It's very
the official subtitle is the motion picture.
Well, that was back when it was novel for like a TV show to have.
Just call it the first one. Don't be a tool. The motion picture. Fuck off.
For a TV show to have a motion picture was a big deal back then.
Yeah, right.
So. I believe it. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you.
Oh, well, what am I... sorry, would I call it Star Trek? Then you think I was talking about the first Chris Pine movie.
The first one! I don't care.
First Star Trek
motion picture. That means nothing.
Look, I'm already mad at him for shit-talking it because I had some...
It's a fucking bad movie.
It's a great movie. Shut up. I mean, it's a poor man's 2001, sure, but it's just like...
What isn't?
Listen. Yeah, right. Yeah,
at least 2001 puts me to sleep.
I think you need to get high and watch that movie, Glenn.
I'm sure that movie's great high. Out. I'll never watch it high. Sure it is too.
I haven't watched it high, but I want to.
Look, they got.
Let's talk about this show again.
They got Isaac.
It's good. Shut up. It's good. This show's fucking good.
Yeah, right.
How does this episode end? Oh yeah, the fucking bad. Yeah, Jesus.
The Vulcan T'Lin upgrades their shields mid-battle, which allows them to get the upper hand on the Pakleds and Klingons. The Klingon officer takes over the ship, or the bird of prey, and warps away, leaving the Pakleds by themselves. And I guess I should mention, we also see... I guess we technically see 5 ships, because we also see the Pakled ship, where it's just one guy going, I'm hungry, and the other going, you should eat something. Wow, you're smart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was wrong. It's not the Kim Cattrall character that said it. Spock said wisdom is the beginning. Logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end. In the Undiscovered Country.
Sure.
But Kim Cattrall was the not Savick.
Well, she was like that. She was like a double agent or something in Undiscovered Country, right?
Yes, she was.
And I think that's right, because that's why they made it a new character, because they didn't want Savick to turn out to be evil. They wanted to just, again, have the same character beat, but without that baggage.
Right.
One of the Vulcan chicks' friends, the guy with the bangs, is I always forget that actor's name, but he's good. He's he's the bad guy in The Good Place.
No, that's Mark Evan Jackson.
Mark Evan Jackson, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the Vulcans, and he's also the alien from Hawaii with the rebreather. I forgot what alien.
Yes,
species that is.
Yeah, they're on TNG.
But it's funny that on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he basically plays like a Vulcan as well. His whole character game is that he's like emotionless and logical. And
him and Holt.
Yeah, that voice he's doing is like, I've heard him do that voice before.
Andre
on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's a joy.
Andre Braugher would be a really great Vulcan for this show.
He'd be a great anything. That guy's got a fucking voice on him. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
He could do it all. Like he'd be a good.
He would certainly work as a Vulcan, but great admiral.
Yeah, you're right. That's what him and Andy Daly destined for admiralty.
Yeah, 100%.
And then so then they solve the thing at the end. You watch the episode if you're listening to this, you know how it ends. And then it ends with the credit sequence of the Borg lower decks.
It's funny
when nothing happens. And that is the only time in all of Star Trek that they've had a scene play while the credits roll.
I also read that on Memory Alpha.
Yeah.
Wow, they've never done a gag like that.
Yeah, right.
Well, they always do the Star Trek credits.
Yeah. All right. Look at that.
And then, also it ends with T'Lyn being told she is
yes.
It's an easy joke that they keep making, but they keep saying that she's out of control and outbursting.
Yeah, it's great.
She's like just calmly like, I think
always funny.
Yeah.
You're losing your shit. Well,
These outbursts are exactly why we're transferring you.
Yeah,
right. The passive aggressive of the Vulcan ship was like,
it's good.
Where the humor came from. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, but I am shocked looking ahead that I assumed that at some point in the season finale we would see that character being assigned to the Cerritos.
I thought so too, but then there's a few things that get dropped that didn't get resolved when it's like, those will probably come up in later seasons.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's happening.
Because we can jump all over the place. I didn't expect when I watched this episode first, I was like, we're going to been talking about how good this episode was. And then I watched the finale and I was like, we're going to spend all our time talking about this episode, whatever.
Both are great.
Both are pretty great. Yeah. But then there's like that Vulcan's probably going to get transferred to the Cerritos or somewhere back on the show. And then also like with Rutherford's implant he has like a memory that comes back that he didn't know was there. And that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, right. That was a very.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they'll pick it up, but that was like a very quick,
obviously, yeah.
Quite literally blink or you miss it.
I like that he has like a finite amount of storage, just like even in the future, right. Your phone's full. It's like, well, okay, we're in the future. How many, the enormity of the amount of storage you must have, but. Right, if he's saving 3 copies of every moment he shares with her, it's like, all right. I guess that would take up some space.
Yeah. And I guess we can just slide right into first contact.
Yeah.
Do we need to do a synopsis?
I mean, it's basically like a TNG episode where they're, on a mission to do first contact. It's a big deal. And the other ship they're with gets knocked out by a solar flare, and there's an energy field that they have to cross, and it like feels like
there's a space problem they have to fix.
Yeah,
There's a space problem they have to solve. The captain, we learned at the beginning, is getting promoted.
She's leaving,
and that pisses people off because and personal conflicts arise out of that, and then they have to solve a space problem. They do, and then at the end, there's a cliffhanger based on the overarching Pac-Led plot that hasn't really come up because this is episodic TV done well. Like they have the things that they've been. I mean, this show, like, this is a great way. It's like, oh yeah, this is how TV when it was like used to be great when they would do 2 seasons and then like you'd be like, that was fun, but then by the end of the season, you're like, of the second season, you're like, wait a minute, we've lived with these characters for a while and this whatever, and shit just got real. Oh damn, like that's how you do good TV. That's what I feel like. There's a lesson that's lost in a lot of prestige TV nowadays, where they have to just have everything running and serialized to the next thing. Whereas like if you do these one episodes where they're solving a problem, but you seed these little things overarching in the background that lead into a for your season plot without having to fuck up the episodic plot, then like, oh my god, the payoff is so much better in so many ways. Like, I mean, just I haven't been happy with every episode of Lower Decks.
No,
but like, I've lived with these guys, and this finale was like, oh, this is so much better. This is as good as any Trek finale that I can remember. Part of it's that I'm drunk and excited about having watched a good episode, but like, definitely better than
Happy birthday,
than anything
Wade.
Happy birthday, Wade.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm genuinely
that Picard or Discovery's done. Like,
oh my god, I'm genuinely excited to see them like get the captain out of trouble. Like, I'm excited, like I'm like, oh cool, like when this comes back next year, like I'll get to see that play out, and it'll be stupid and it'll be funny, but it'll also like, it's a good space adventure,
right?
Like, I don't know if it makes sense that you can take the outer hull off the ship and that would work. I don't give a shit. Let's have fun.
I mean, that's like great Star Trek right there. Is like,
oh, it was. This episode was less of just like a cartoon goofy Rick and Morty-ish reference comedy, and they're like, no, we're just gonna do straight up Star Trek shit pretty much. Like most of the there was comedy there, but it was all character based, and it wasn't like, there wasn't really the reference comedy quite so much that you got even in Wish Dush, where everything was like a Star Trek 6 reference, or
right. I will say there is a very funny reference, or kind of a meta reference joke, where I think it's Tendi at the end, because she thinks she's getting fired, but she's actually getting promoted to the bridge. And she says, I'm going to be just like Jadzia Dax. And to Anna goes, who the fuck is Jadzia Dax?
That was great. Because people don't know what the fuck DS9 is. I do a podcast on it. But like, yeah. And Joni was sad that she knew what it is because she lives with a guy that did a podcast on it. But like, yeah, like, who the fuck is... And especially the producers seem to have that kind of thinking about like that stuff with the like Voyager, sure, but like DS9, who gives a fuck? Yeah, it was a great joke. No, you're gonna be like Spock, because of course everybody knows who Spock is. Yeah, it was a great joke. I'm sorry to step on your.
No, you're fine. I agree with you. Go home, wait your trunk.
I didn't have to know who Shocks Divagaba was to know that joke was good.
Jadzia Dax.
Hey, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, we already talked about Ezri Dax. Jadzia Dax. No, sorry, I won't. I won't do it.
Which I personally prefer Jadzia, but that's
I mean, yeah, Ezri got a raw deal because because Rick Berman sucks, and they should have kept it. Jadzia got a rawer deal than everybody because that was a dumb indie way to kill the character off.
Yep,
and it's all because Rick Berman's a creep. But, I think everybody. I don't think there's that level of creep on this show. Star Trek.
I certainly hope not. Yeah, that's this show's really good. It's very.
Right, I know. I didn't take notes on this episode because I just watched it before we podcast, so I don't
Yeah, only watched it once. A rare one watch for Wade.
I know, right?
Hey, we the penultimate episode, it wasn't really horny. This episode, it got a little horny.
Oh yeah, with the Jennifer subplot, yeah.
Right.
Oh no, dolphins.
Oh yes,
horny
the
dolphins.
Oh my god,
they were
the dolphins are my favorite character in all of Star Trek.
Whales, whatever they. Right. Okay, very good.
Yeah, there's cetacean ops, right? It's like
Yep.
Right.
Oh, there's your comedy right there, man.
That was a great pick because they've referenced cetacean ops a few times, which I think at the time you and I, Wade, both said like that's clearly just like that's a Voyage home gag because of the whales, and
right
to have it revealed that it is not, it's not kidnapping.
I mean, yeah,
it's not like the kidnapping whales department. It is a department run by whales.
It's fucking great.
Oh, and those guys, like the way that they're just horny for Rutherford. Like, Rutherford, don't you just want to take your clothes off and jump in here? Because like, he's friends with us. Like, oh, hey guys, what's up? And everything about those little whales are my new best friends.
Yep. What is it they say when they rescue Boimler? They said, "Don't keep splashing water on him. Don't let him dry out."
Right, which is advice you'd give for a beached whale, not a fucking.
I don't know why. I also read that just as like another dig at Boimler's skin.
Oh yeah, well, you could. I didn't.
But no, I think more likely that it's the beach whale. Either way, it was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's they do the, since it's a Titmouse that produces the show. They did the same like T-shirt of the month club that they did for like Venture Brothers back in the day. Wait, I know you already know this. But the whales are the...
Yeah, I did, full disclosure, I did buy a shirt from the T-shirt.
Oh, which one did you get?
The Mugatu.
Oh, that's fun.
Because it's the most... Because I could wear it and people won't go like, what? They won't say, hey, Star Trek dork. They'll say, why do you have a gorilla with a horn on your head? And I don't have to explain it. You know what? I love those fucking dolphins. Or
I was about to say, I'm kind of tempted to.
Or porpoises, whatever kind of whale they were. I love them so much. I almost thought about buying it. And the one for the last episode with just the 3 ships, it's an all right shirt. It just says Lower Decks on it. I like
the Ritos shirt that she's wearing in the.
Oh yeah, that's the dig at Discovery
wearing when they're in the
right.
the holodeck.
Right. Yeah, it's a dig at the or it's just a reference, I guess.
Yeah, right. Not a dig. Sorry, it's a.
Yeah.
Also, I just realized I'm.
Is it? I don't know what it is. I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, they have disco shirts on Discovery.
I just realized I'm currently wearing my Venture Brothers shirt from back when they were doing that T-shirt club. I have the Hank Co.
Oh yeah, I have one of those. I almost thought I should be wearing my Mugatu shirt today, but it's a podcast. Who the fuck cares?
Right, exactly. Who would care?
I should have told you I am.
But yeah, really, really strong finish to the season.
Yeah. So she, the Packwood shit, which you definitely like think is done. Like you're going into this episode, you're like, all right, maybe they'll deal with more of that later. Maybe I don't think that. I definitely thought it was over, but then they blew up and they're blaming her.
Right, Packwood planet was blown up by a Veruvian bomb or something, and they think she. Yeah. So. And she thinks she's getting promoted. She's going to turn it down, and then and then they carry out.
So they all lined up to say to congratulate her. It's good.
Yeah,
very good.
Oh, because Boimler the whole episode, it's a reference joke, I guess, like for his Captain Freeman Day, which is like in TNG they had.
Oh right,
Captain Picard Day, and everybody's like, it's for fucking children, and the Mariner's like, it's still like a sense of command structure for the
it teaches children to respect authority, or instills a respect for authority in kids, or something like that.
Right. And she says it is with derision and in a comedic way that we're not really pulling off right now. But
and even the whales, he asks,
the whales, man, yeah. When Boimler's like, oh, I did the thing, and they're like, what? And
that's for calves.
Hey, whales are, that's for kids. I loved it. I love the whales.
The whales ruled.
Yeah. Oh no, man, that's for Captain Boimler the whole time. Like, so he has to know that she did the banner, and it's like, it looks like a child did it, and it's a running little reference joke in there. But you know what? It was fun.
It's fun. It's very fun. This is honestly what, and I'm a broken record, so I apologize, but this is what the quote unquote real Trek shows are missing, is just fun. Not necessarily jokes, but just like a sense of fucking fun. It's like they've forgotten that like these shows are on some level supposed to be just fun. Like they're obviously they go deeper than that at their best, but like there is a sense of wonder and exploration and joy that like is part of the DNA of this concept. And it's pretentious to say it this way, but like it's refreshing to see at least one of these fucking Trek shows like gets that. Like they've just wrapped filming on Strange New Worlds, and I don't know what that show is actually going to be like, but they've referred to it as like the longest like pilot to series pickup in history, because it's technically going from the original like TOS pilot. And I just wonder.
I'm making a jerking motion with my hand.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, just because it's based
fuck you.
Yeah, fuck that. Like that's not.
Then it better look like that fucking pilot.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Because if it doesn't, then it's fucking not. So shut up.
Though I will say, even though I wasn't a fan of Ethan Peck's performance as Spock, I'm a big fan of Anson Mount as Pike, and so if nothing else, I'm hoping the show does well.
Anson Mount's great. Yeah,
you can Anson Mount me anytime.
Oh god,
yeah, right.
Very handsome man. But and super interesting dude. Like I think I've mentioned this on the pod before. I was listening to him on another
handsome mouth is how I refer to him.
Hey,
that's funny.
That guy's built like he's slinging snake too.
He probably He's got that BDE, man.
Yeah, he does. He's got real BDE.
And here I was about to talk about how he has a really interesting idea to do essentially like first contact war games on an international level. So not like literal war games, but his idea is to have.
You mean the actor, the person,
the person Anson Mount is part of a.
He's a big sci-fi geek. He does a lot of like one of the sci-fi magazines, like one of the big sci-fi, if you're a dork who submits stories to sci-fi and magazines, Lightspeed. I think he's done a lot of podcasting where he's just reading old like sci-fi stories, like this kind of podcast.
So like he's on the board of this organization that like it's not SETI, but it's like it's related in some tangential way to SETI. And but anyway, yeah, like he had this really interesting idea of like, governments should essentially at some point do like, again, like war games where they kind of play out like, okay, we get the call that is some confirmation or other of intelligent extraterrestrial life. Like, what do we do? And
that's interesting.
It's
on the show though.
I'm sorry.
Save that for your
the Strange New Worlds pod. We do.
Yeah, right. Or I didn't say anything about that. You could save it for the news service bit or whatever you're doing at the end of this.
Yeah, maybe.
We're talking about first contact. It ended great. I'm excited for the next season of this.
I mean, is this where we announce?
I think they've already.
I liked those aliens that just wanted to get fucked up.
That was funny.
That's fun.
Yeah, everybody's drunk at the end.
Yeah, it's good.
Mariner has her character arc kind of come to a fruition on this episode. Everybody's getting their time. The thing that's been building, like, it works. They just fit time in for every character to have their arc done. They have Rutherford has to delete because he cares about Tendi so much he doesn't want to forget her again, and she's got her shit going on. Mariner has to let her barriers down, and it turns out her whole thing with Jennifer has been probably because she's been crushing on Jennifer this whole time. And
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get them lesbians.
Yeah, I mean, Mariner, has been pretty open about her bisexuality.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah. But yeah, and I was like, oh, that was a nice little twist too, because I always like the Jennifer jokes,
right?
Yeah, hating on her, but like you got Lauren Lapkus, let's use her.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
just I think it's I think lesbian hentai is more acceptable if it's Star Trek. So
yeah,
let's get that going, huh?
right.
Come on.
There's something for everyone on
My
this
wife
show.
can't get mad at me if she catches me jerking off to Star Trek. I'm just doing research for the pod.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just saying, if we're doing lesbian hentai, we should probably just do straight gay hentai too. Like,
we should definitely do.
I mean, it is the
'cause
future.
These producers will put lesbians on screen before they'll put gay men. So we should start.
Yeah, I mean,
should probably feed the balance there.
Yeah, lesbians are certainly more palatable to a Star Trek audience than gay men. So let's get those gay men on there. Let's beat.
They're doing the work there. I mean,
there's plenty of no. There's Star Trek's full of representation. I don't have a problem with anything.
It is nowadays. It's much better than it used to be. So,
there was plenty of lip service back in the day, but
right. I don't know where I was going with this bit.
I don't know. Well, I'll just go ahead and interrupt.
I know. I just wanted to do a hentai bit, and then that Wade's like making it real and taking my.
If we're at hentai, I may as well interrupt with the Federation News Service alert.
Oh boy, I really thought you learned from the first.
My only report this week is the goddamn Ferengi redesign that has been revealed for season 4 of Discovery.
Right.
As Wade has referred to it, Nos Ferengu.
Yeah.
Do we know Ferengis?
Yeah, it's a quark.
It was the logo for the podcast I did.
Oh, the big ear guys. Okay.
Yeah. And
Nos Ferengu was the thing. Yeah. I still like my first analogy that it looked, because it just looks like a bad job. Like,
oh yeah,
it looks like a shitty 80s children's movie from Canada where that kid gets turned into a mouse.
Right. It's like the witches or something. Like totally 100% what it looks like. And it's, I mean, again, I said this to you. I looked the other way on the Klingon shit from Discovery, even though that redesign is fucking atrocious. And
I mean, yeah, that's worse.
It is definitely worse. But the Ferengi one annoys me more because the whole thing is like it wasn't broken. It didn't need fixing. Like,
yeah, I don't have it in me to care about it. I think the Ferengi redesign is hilarious. Go off. You do your little thing over there, Discovery. I can't be mad. I think it's too dumb looking, and I just like, I'm checked out enough to where just like I love making fun of it because it just doesn't like it. I mean, but it's not as bad as the Klingon redesign. It's
no,
like
the Klingon one is objectively worse.
They got a head bug up their ass. Some costume designer, they had to change it up, and they took the eyebrow ridge, and it looks dumb now. And like Kristen from Montreal, been on this podcast, big fan. She pointed out in the Discord, like, or on Twitter, I think, like, disco is all about making the aliens bumpier for some reason.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what they do for whatever fucking reason.
Right. They just want to make it textured, I guess. But yeah, it looks bad.
It does. It looks
but everybody's so mad about it, and I'm here for that. Like, I think it's hilarious.
Well, and which, it distracts from like, there's like, additional like Ferengi in Starfleet in the future at least. And
well, yeah, right. Well, it's 800 years. You don't know if it's he could be. He looks all wrinkled and ball sack like the Grand Nagus does.
Right.
So maybe he's Grand Nagus age, or maybe he's half blah blah. All the justifications that all these nerds did. Like, well, it's a show. They did a bad job on the thing.
That's
it's not like
Occam's razor.
It's not like, well, it could be that he's part this other alien. And look, I've got a picture of this alien. That alien's not real either. It's just a bad makeup job, dude. But go off, King. Tell me all the because everybody, they want to explain it away so well and not be mad about it because they want to not say bad things about it. It's just a bad job. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know what? Let them fuck it up. I don't care. But
I don't care.
I guess now that we're at the end of the season, So I think we can safely announce, we're doing season 3 of Under the Bridge.
Yeah, I'll do that because I like the show.
Is this show definitely renewed?
Yeah. It's the season 3's
they're
happening.
already recording it.
Cool.
They might be done recording it.
Oh wow.
They work pretty quickly.
The animation takes a long time, but the recording is obviously pretty quick.
Right. I mean, it's easier to do these cartoons than it is to do a live action show for sure.
For sure.
So
this animation's like pretty basic. This isn't like a real
everybody
intense,
can work remote.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Probably one of the reasons why they've gotten the support they have so far. It's like, oh shit, this is like one of the things we can put out like right now.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Although apparently for that Wish Dush episode, Mike McCann did want to redo the opening credits and have all the credits in Klingon, but they're like, it costs too much. Like, okay, never mind.
Oh, that would have ruled.
That sounds awesome.
I enjoy a little detail like that.
Me too.
It's fun.
So Discovery, I know Wade has said that it'll be conditional on the premiere.
No, I said that last time.
Yeah,
And
Wade
they
hasn't
fucked
said
me.
anything yet.
I said, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot, but I'm not committed to doing anything right after a premiere.
What about
And if I do get on after a premiere, I reserve the right to bail or say I'll cover it at the end.
Yep.
I can't do last. Like, there's no reason for me to. I don't trust them anymore. So like,
that last season was largely irredeemable.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
And it started off so good, like, and so that's
right. So you can't,
So I can't trust them. So
they might know how to do a premiere, and that's scary. They'll suck you in,
right?
Yep.
So like, if I'm not saying I won't be open to doing every episode, but I'm gonna have to see how it plays out. So if anybody needs their podcast on a TV show to happen, like, well, even this stuff we've been waiting 2 weeks, to do 2 at a time and whatever. Because it's streaming anyway. Nobody watches this stuff like as it comes out, except for that.
We'll get to it when we get to it.
Who listen to podcasts about it? So, oh shit, never mind. But
well, but then there's also potentially a season 2 of Can't Hardly Wait.
Right. Yeah, and I think that'll come before Disco. So I'll have to.
Yeah, I think that's next first. Well, I guess Prodigy's next.
Oh yeah, so who knows? Like, if a podcast jumps up on this feed where we're talking about a show, you'll know that we're doing a show about it. I think that's how
it'll happen when it happens.
This is a lot of off-air convo. What needs to
nobody unsubscribe. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see it.
Well, look. If nothing else, you guys have Kingdom Farts and Spiel of Time to look forward to.
Oh yeah, especially if I drop that off the Patreon. But
that's a business decision that is yours to make, Wade.
Well, right now, I Love the Hades is only for patrons, so check that shit out. I guess let's segue right into plugs and get over this hump. Because right now I don't know that anybody can listen to I Love the Hades if they're not a donor to the Kickers of Oath's Patreon. But,
wow!
And that episode got great reviews.
It did, yeah.
People liked it. So
yeah.
You want to hear Sean and I talk about which Greek gods we'd fuck? Like,
oh man, the answer is a lot of them.
And Wade, I guess Wade, you technically do appear in the episode, but
you do
very briefly.
Yeah.
Right. I want to plug. I want to plug Megan Thee Stallion's hottie sauce at Popeyes. I haven't tried it yet, but we should all be excited.
Oh, we got a Popeyes in my neighborhood now. I should try it.
Oh, that chicken sandwich, Wade. That's the good shit.
It's really good. I had it.
Yeah.
That's a subject for another time, but yeah,
it is. We could do a chicken sandwich ranking episode. We've tried a lot of them.
There you go, patrons. That's the content you want, right?
Yeah, you want a Doughboys Patreon content, right?
Right. Anything else you got any plugs there?
I'm good.
Okay. Oh, I guess. Well, the ROA and the other Patreon stuff we're still.
Yeah.
But then eventually, this David Lynch Twin Peaks was thought lost, and it might come out.
Hell yeah! Amazing Grace, baby. It once was lost, now it's found.
Yeah. Right.
Yay,
okay.
Oh, shut up.
Oh. All right. Well, I don't think my microphone caught that anyway. So, self-destruct code alpha beta cuck.
Woo! Beep.
Sometimes I feel like I just don't get Star Trek. Sometimes I feel like I'm moving away. I don't know DS9, never TNG. Maybe it's hopeless Discovery Sun. Picard was fine, I guess. Never seen Wrath of Khan. Voyager Enterprise sounds like gibberish. The original series, I guess there's a cartoon. I always wonder where's Star Trek for Sean. Caution, look, it's lower decks. A funny cartoon references other Trek. Without pretentiousness, Tawny Newsom and Jack Quaid. Eugene Cordero, Star Trek for the common man. Finally found my place. Hey, yeah. Self-contained adventures, stakes that are realistic. Different parts of the ship, and not just the bridge. There's maybe a romance, doesn't matter, who cares? Sci-fi adventures, no high concept schlock. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day, hearing Glen's status report. It drove me insane. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. God, it just went on and on. I had no escape. Hey, yeah. Shut up, Glen, please just shut up. Glen, shut the fuck up, just stop talking. Star Trek Lower Decks. The Star Trek that's the best. Star Trek Lower Decks. Better than all the rest. Star Trek Lower Decks. Talking about it with my friends. Star Trek Lower Decks. Please shut the fuck up, Glen. Glen, shut the fuck up. Glen, fuck you. Fuck you, Glen.